guys, Chandler here with Servant Farms. Just wanted to give y'all an update about what we have at our markets and the things that we'll be doing coming up in July and through the rest of the summer and the fall and winter, and tell y'all a little bit about the things that we'll be having at our markets and how we're going to be setting up, where we're going to be setting up, and tell y'all about some new things that we're going to be doing, and also bring a message as well. All right, so first of all, we're going to be having our tomatoes are just now starting to come in from the tunnel that we got from Farmer's Friend. And so right about the first week of July, we should start with our big tomato crop. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tomatoes in the ground. We'll have Bradley's, Big Beefs, Pink Girls, Cherokee Purples, beefsteaks, and for cherry tomatoes we'll have Sun Golds and Sakuras, which is a red cherry tomato. And all these things you can find will be at Batch and Bushel in Lebanon. It's at the fairgrounds Thursday evenings from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then you can also find us at the Watertown Farmers Market every Saturday. We'll be there from about 8 to 1. It should be every Saturday starting in July. And then we'll also have all these things for sale and always available Tuesdays through Saturdays at Demeter's Commons in Lebanon. Right up there, right off the square, right past Henderson's Flower Shop on your left up there. And so go by and see Mallory and her amazing family, and they'll get you hooked up with all of our stuff and lots of other stuff from lots of local farmers as well. We're also having talks in relations with Demeter's Commons about doing some workshop type things, some classroom type things where we can show you guys how to grow and produce food, and to learn and teach your kids and your family about some of these things, about how to grow your own food and where your food comes from and all these types of things. We're thinking about having maybe a fall and a spring plant sale. So I'll start plants in trays and cups, and we'll have them out there for sale, all started all naturally. So you'll know that you'll have plants that have a good foundation on them and that aren't chemically done any sort of way from their transplant stage. So we're going to try to make that happen for you guys. So if you want to buy some Servant Farms plants, just stay tuned for more information about that in the future. And so I'm out here doing some drip irrigation today, and really all that is water gets pumped right over here in this corner from a creek down this line, down this blue line that's called the header line or the head line, and it goes down all these other lines and feeds water from the pump, and this blue line feeds all the other lines. And these lines are in these raised beds where you plant your plants all the way down through there, and it drips water out. And so the interesting thing that I was thinking is that, you know, I get married here in about a week, and I'm really super excited about that. You know, and I'm thinking about, you know, what does the Lord say a good husband should be? What should I do? You know, what's my purpose? What's my job? What are my duties? Because guys, we have responsibilities as a husband that we have to fulfill. And so I was looking at that and to see what my new job is going to be in that. And you know, it's talking about the two become one, and that, you know, husbands are to love their wives as Christ loved the church, and that wives are to submit obedience to their husband and those things. And you know, that gets debated back and forth a lot, but you know, it's just the pride in the flesh in us that is debating all that. But a good visual of that, and I think something that could clear that up for a lot of people, that made it really clear to me, is that this blue line right here that runs to all the plants, it's very thin. it's very fragile. Any little thing can cut it or tear it. And so if there's a cut or a tear in it, rather than have to replace the whole line, they have these couplers right here. And you can see water runs through it, and you just connect one side to the right and one side to the left, and it connects them, and they're made one again. And so the two pieces are made one by the union, by the coupler. This is the union that the word is talking about in marriage, and this is the union that Christ has with the church. The two have been made one, and what's connecting them is the union, the contract, the covenant. And interesting enough that notice that the union isn't on the sides, it's between them equally. One is not ruler over the other. And so I thought that was very interesting. So you have the husband and the wife connected by the union, the covenant of marriage, which are both being fed living water by the very accurately named header line, or the headline. And so the headline is what's giving them the water. The head of our line in our lives and our families and in our churches and our relationships needs to be Jesus, and he's the one that's providing us with the living water. And so, the word says in Matthew 6:24 that no one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or vice versa, and that no one can serve or love two masters. And I think we need to be more aware of this and be concerned about this, because this seems to be a big problem in our society today. And if you love God and you want his benefits and you want him, everybody wants him to save them, but not everybody is acting on that. Okay, he's now my master, he's now my Lord, I now belong to him, and I now obey him, and I serve him. That's the whole essence of our farm. That's why I call it servant farms. I'm trying to serve God. I realize that since he has saved me and he has paid my debt, I now serve him, period. That's all there is. And, I think that as a society we need to be more of that mindset, because if you don't look at it with that being the motivation behind it, it'll be so easy to fall back into your flesh and so easy to fall back into what the world's distractions are. And so just remember that if you call yourself a child of God and one who's been saved by Jesus, that you are now supposed to be serving him 24/7 all the time, serving him, reading your word, praying to him, being in contact with him, and having that relationship with him, so that you two are so close that someone can't see you without seeing God through you. And that's how close that we should be to the Lord. And so I just wanted to encourage you guys with that today, and to give you this information that of all the good things that we're going to have coming up. And if you'd like more information on the possible courses that we might be putting together, the educational things about growing things and farming, and the earth, and how you can do things with your family with that, and learn more, or the plant sales, or just feel free to message me, and I'll be glad to provide more information about those. And y'all have a blessed day.